I'll come back for two more examples on how to determine the equation of a parabola given the focus and the directrix. For this example, we are given the focus equals -1, 6, and the directrix is y equals 2. Let's go ahead and plot the focus, -1, 6, and the directrix is the horizontal line, y equals 2. Next, we'll sketch a segment perpendicular to the directrix from the directrix to the focus. This segment here, the vertex will always be the midpoint of this segment, which indicates the vertex is -1, 4. Let's record this on the right. And now let's make a rough sketch of the parabola. Because the focus is always inside the parabola, we should be able to recognize the parabola will open up and curl around the focus. And therefore it will look something like this. It doesn't have to be to scale. The important part is to recognize is that the parabola opens up. Whenever a parabola opens up or down, the equation will be in the form of the square of x minus h equals 4p times the quantity y minus k, where h comma k is the vertex. The absolute value of p equals the distance from the vertex to the focus, and if the parabola opens up, p is positive. If the parabola opens down, p is negative. Because the vertex is -1, 4, h equals -1, k equals 4. Analyzing our graph, the distance from the vertex to the focus, this distance here is 2 units, which indicates the absolute value of p equals 2. And because the parabola opens up, not down, p equals positive 2. This is all the information we need to write the equation. The equation is the square of x minus h, which is the square of x minus -1, equals 4 times p, or 4 times 2, times the quantity y minus k, which is the quantity y minus 4. Simplifying, we have the square of x plus 1 equals 8 times the quantity y minus 4. This is the equation for the parabola. But if we did want to solve this for y, the first step would be to multiply both sides by 1/8, which gives us 1/8 times the square of x plus 1 equals y minus 4. The last step would be to add 4 to both sides, which would give us y equals 1/8 times the square of x plus 1 plus 4. These two equations are equivalent, and therefore both forms should be acceptable. Let's look at one more example. For this example, the focus is now 3, -5, and the directrix is a vertical line, x equals -1. Next, we'll sketch a segment perpendicular to the directrix from the directrix to the focus, this segment here. The vertex must be the midpoint, which indicates this point is the vertex, which is the ordered pair 1, -5. And now we'll make a rough sketch of the parabola. We know the focus must be inside the parabola, and the parabola curls around the focus, which indicates the parabola opens to the right and looks something like this. Again, it's not important that it's to scale. The important part is to recognize the parabola opens to the right. Whenever a parabola opens to the left or right, the equation will be in the form of the square of y minus k equals 4p times the quantity x minus h, where h comma k is the vertex, which indicates h equals 1, k equals -5. The absolute value of p is the distance from the vertex to the focus. Analyzing the graph, that's this distance here. Notice the absolute value of p equals 2. And because the parabola opens to the right in the direction of the positive x-axis, p is positive 2. Recall, if the parabola opened to the left, p would be -2. This is all the information we need to write the equation. The equation is the square of y minus k, which is the square of y minus -5, equals 4 times p, or 4 times 2, times the quantity x minus h, which in our case is the quantity x minus 1. Simplifying, we have the square of y plus 5 equals 8 times the quantity x minus 1. This is the equation of the parabola. But if we did want to solve the equation for x, the first step would be to multiply both sides by 1/8, which would give us 1/8 times the square of y plus 5 equals x minus 1. The last step would be to add 1 to both sides, giving us x equals negative 1/8 times the square of y plus 5 plus 1. So these two equations are equivalent, and therefore both forms should be acceptable. I hope you found this helpful.